Welcome to Capture the Reps podcast, the podcast for fitness creatives by fitness creatives. Each episode, we will dive into techniques, strategies, and behind-the-scenes stories to help fast-track your career. Whether you're behind the camera or in front of it, this is the space to grow, create, and connect. Hit it, Sam.
What an honor. What an honor to have you. I mean, huge get for us, let me tell you. And by the way, this is like a fun side note. I was just at the dentist, so like if you see my mouth kind of just like droop off a little bit, nice. They put like some numbing stuff in there, and like it's funny, like I kept like looking, and like they said it was going to last for 1 hour, and like right before we started this, like I could feel it like slowly start going away. So
by the end of this, you're gonna have full sensation.
Yeah, hopefully, like, dude, why were you smiling at the beginning? Like, what's going on? You weren't smiling like that at all. So, no.
What'd you get done? That's the fun part because I just did that too.
Yeah. So, what do they call it? I this is where I get exposed. Where I'm really bad with names and concepts and things. Especially with camera stuff, I sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. But then I can be like, oh no, I meant this. They had to put like, they had to add things to my tooth. Filling.
Okay. Yeah, filling. Yeah. Classic, dude. I just had that done.
So there's like a little
too.
gap, I guess, like right in here. There was no longer.
Nice.
But it was really annoying because I kept getting like, not to get too, food caught in there. And, I had to travel with like the toothpick thing. And like, toothpick look is like kind of cool. I think we both have an appreciation for that.
Absolutely.
Having to have it on you at all times is kind of annoying. So,
yeah, the toothpick look is like one step down from the cigarette. Like it's acceptable, but he was still pretty dang cool.
Yeah, yeah, and I think if you like, you look at like Rogue in Texas when it was in Texas, like toothpick with one of the hats and then the custom boots that they had made. I mean, can you imagine being on the sidelines with all that?
No, I can't. That's why I wasn't there for that specific reason. It wasn't because I wasn't invited. It's just because of the men dressed up like that.
Yeah. I feel like you could pull it off.
I've never been to Rogue. I could, but the only problem is I look way too mean if I do look like that. I look mean enough as it is. The new edition of the glasses helps. But I hear so often that people just think I look mean. Yeah. 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 The beard doesn't usually help either. Sometimes if I trim that up, it looks a little bit better. But if I were a woman, people would probably tell me to smile more. Just kidding. I smile plenty.
I have seen a lot of photos of you in your element, and you definitely are not smiling.
Yeah. It's my concentration face. I mean, you see me. I get it. I see, like, dude, I get pictures of myself after Wadapalooza, and I'm like, why do I look so mean all the time? And also, what was I doing? What was I focusing on so intently that I was just like, I just got that mean mug. That's it. But I'm very nice. I like to think
you're always nice.
Pretty approachable. Pretty fair. I'm pretty nice. I talk too much. So I think that's something that surprised people.
I think people are already feeling the energy between both of us, considering we both talk a lot and we both are kind of like stepping on each other because we're so passionate about getting our point across, which is great. I think it's a positive
that classic
thing.
ADHD, man.
Right. And I just had Anthony, aka Stutters, on last week. So he was singing your praises. With everything,
I love him so much.
We had to cut some of the stories, so I don't know what that's about.
Did you?
But,
I want to know.
No.
I want to. Yeah, we have so much fun. I love Stutters.
Yeah, so like, I mean, geez, you've been around for a while, so origin story, starting in a gym, all that kind of stuff. Like, just take it away, man. Like I remember you talking about like your dad giving you like your first camera. You don't have to necessarily go into like that detail. You can if you want. Your dad sounds like a great guy, but
it's a good dude. He is one of the oldest people. He's the oldest person I've seen with his CrossFit L3 certificate, which is awesome. He's a coach. He coaches like an insane amount at the gym that's connected to CrossFit HQ in Colorado, which is cool.
That's super awesome. And you're from Colorado, right? Originally?
Yeah. I'm originally from Colorado. Yeah, I mean, my dad gave me a film camera, but I never knew that I was good at this stuff. What's funny is I tell you I'm a mediocre musician, and that's how I got into picking up a camera. I wanted to, right out of high school, I wanted to be in a band. I wanted to be in a band so bad. and I wanted to play music, but I'm not very good at it. And I also don't know if I can get good enough to do something like that. But what I was good at was taking pictures. And so one of my best friends was going on tour, and I was like, I really want to go on tour with you. I don't want to be a merch guy. I'll do merch, but I really want to take pictures. And he was like, sure, do it. And the band was, well, I had done one other thing with a smaller band, but this was like the first big band. And when I say big, I mean like they were signed and they were going on this tour, and I wanted to do that. So my dad bought me a camera, and then I went on this tour, and I had no idea what I was doing. For years, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just like taking pictures on auto, taking video on auto, and it was just like, I just want to hang with my boys and sleep in a van for months. And that was super fun. And it worked. And, I had some of my best friends. I got to meet some of like the biggest bands, that in the genre that I like in that area. And I was like, oh, this is really cool. But I had no idea what I was doing. And I was like, I'm just in the right place at the right time sometimes, and really decent at chatting with people. And that works for me. And
what gave you the confidence to kind of just like throw yourself into that then? Because I mean, you had to add some confidence to be able to be like, hey, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I know I can crush it for you guys.
I don't know. I just fake it. I still do that to this day. I mean, I'm sure we all do, but I just wanted to like get out there and like go with them. And I really wanted them to take me. And so I was like, yeah, I know what I'm doing for sure. And I just figured it out. It came really naturally to me, which is surprising, mainly video. If I didn't start doing photo until like when I'd say doing photo, like I took photos, but I wasn't really like good at it even. But video editing for some reason is like, oh, this is my thing. This is where I get into that flow state where musicians are. I was like, this is my way of doing that. But the confidence was just that it was my friends. But then I met other people who wanted me to go on tour with them. And I was like, that's when I had to fake it. I was like, oh, I'm biting off way more than I can chew. And unfortunately, that didn't last super long. Not unfortunately, that sounds wrong. It was really exciting and fun. But then I met my ex, who then we had children, which was awesome. And so I stopped doing that. And I was like, all right, we're going to move to the Bay Area, the most expensive place in the country, arguably. And I'm going to go be a firefighter. So I went through all that, and I went and became an EMT, and then a paramedic. And fun fact, I have a medal for saving a 2-year-old's life. That was a fun one. And no, it wasn't fun. Actually, that job was traumatic, and I'm too sensitive for that. That's why I stopped doing it. But then I got melanoma on my face, which if you ever see me with short facial hair, which is not very often, I have a big scar all around right here. This is numb, all that, which I think I've mentioned before. I don't know if people know that. I don't really post about it or anything anymore, but that changed everything. I was doing that. Then my paramedic internship at the same time was like, oh my God, I was a mess. Like hearing you have cancer when I had a 6-month-old at home was like, whatever cancer it is, you hear that word, that spirals you. And then doing that, and then, responding to shootings in the middle of the night, things like that was like, this is too much for me. I need to change. And I had recently just picked up, actually, because of my tax return, I bought a Sony A6000 because I wanted to start taking pictures again, because one of my friends had it, and I was like, oh, I want to do that again. And then I started going to a CrossFit gym, and then I was like, hey, can I start taking pictures and stuff here? Super weird, but like I want to start doing this. And then started coaching and decided that I wanted to just like quit doing the paramedic thing. It was too much for me. And like I was super depressed. It was like anxious like crazy, and it was both those things combined. But then picked up a camera, started working at Diablo CrossFit, and they let me follow them around with a camera. And eventually like I said, dude, I just got really lucky. So when you say I've been around this for a while, I'm like, I don't feel like it. I just started, and I mean, now it's 2026. So when I say that, it doesn't make sense for like 2018.
I'm just trying to make myself feel younger. I think I'm deflecting. So
Same, dude. I can't get too close to this camera. You're going to see all these gray hairs coming
Definitely
in.
Not. I mean, so like there's a reason why I filmed from the front, because if I filmed from the back, by the way, just got photos from like a different thing I was working on, like some behind the scene photos. Mm-hmm. There's a little bit missing in the back that
behind your scenes.
Man, not great. Not
dude,
great.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's okay. I usually wear hats, so like it's fine. It's just more hats. So I'm just going to accessorize.
Well, that's how I am too. And the hats don't usually help with making that worse. Sorry, I got a phone call on my iPad.
No worries.
Do you have a lot of Apple products?
I do. And they're all connected. And then, it's one of those things where your eyes dart, right? So like I try to be good about it.
You get calls on everything.
Yeah. So that's the worst. And then when you have AirPods in, you probably got the ring in your AirPods. It came up on your phone,
everything.
Computer. If you have an iPad nearby, it came up there. If you have an Apple TV, it's like
it's very efficient, but good Lord,
we're all
that's
connected
scary
in some way, I guess.
Exactly. I forgot where we were going with that. The hair. I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. I think, as a fellow bearded person, the beard hopefully just distracts from all of that.
It offsets it, dude. If you couldn't grow a beard, that would be a bummer.
I know, right? Real quick, I did have a chin strap in high school. I wouldn't suggest that look. I thought I was cool.
In high school, that's impressive, dude. The fact that you could grow a beard in high school is awesome. I couldn't grow a beard to my 20s.
Might have peaked in 8th grade, like in every sense. Like,
did you grow early?
Yeah. I was like 6 foot tall in 8th grade. And then I'm like, dominating. I wouldn't say dominating. I'm doing well in basketball, right? And, I was the enforcer, all that. Go to high school.
They have enforcers in basketball? You're throwing out a hockey term right there, bud.
Yeah. Maybe back in like the day I played. We didn't shoot as many 3-pointers back in the day. But no, and then, it was also in high school, I was doing well in freshman team and all that. And then sophomore year, everyone started hitting their growth spurt. So like the guard that was like 5'7", all of a sudden is like 6'3" and is taller than me.
Yeah. Looking down on you.
And I'm the 6 foot. I have no guard skills at all. I am literally like a 6 foot center playing in a fairly big high school that plays against, people that are, there's a couple D1 athletes in that. It was bad.
Okay.
So I came off the bench. That's
impressive though.
Yeah, it was not great. Yeah, so
that's how I was in football. Peaked. I was terrible because I was the opposite. I was a wide receiver, but I was a quarterback when I was younger. But then I was too small because I did not grow until like the later years of high school. So I was a hockey player mainly, and I was just that short, fast guy. And a guy I played with actually just won the Stanley Cup, which is crazy. Like that's wild. One degree of separation from the Stanley Cup. That's crazy. That's my claim to fame.
Are you guys still close to where you go maybe perhaps get a drink out of said Stanley Cup?
No, I don't know. I haven't reached out to him in a long time. I don't know if you even remember me at this point. He's pretty famous now. So I don't know, but it's just cool that like, I played hockey with that guy for a couple of years. That was fun. I went to his like 8th birthday. Pretty neat.
Pretty cool.
But yeah, but I was hockey guy. I was a short guy. I could not. Yeah, I got my butt kicked in high school football because I played at a big high school. One of the guys went to the NFL and he's 6'8". And I remember one time we were doing a kick return drill and he was on the kickoff and he was just gunning for me. And I'm like 5'6" at that time and he's 6'8", like 240. He went to the NFL as a tight end, but he was a defensive lineman, a defensive end. So he's, I don't know how I survived that hit, but here we are. I think I still am in pain from that.
So like when you see him running at you, like, are you making a business decision? Like, are you like, hey, maybe I should just Olay this?
Yeah. Like, how am I going to absorb this? Am I going to like try to be a tough guy or am I just going to let him lay me out? Because if I let him, it'd probably hurt less. And I'm pretty sure I just let him.
Yeah.
I was
fair enough.
I was a kid. It was brutal.
Yeah. Right.
So hey, we're going to go off on lots of tangents
experience, right? Just like how, all that kind of fun stuff. So you're working at a gym and doing content for them. And then I'm assuming, because I remember seeing, brands start picking you up, start noticing you and all that kind of fun stuff. So how did you like realize that or make the conscious decision that, hey, there is this like fitness media space that I want to enter? And I, maybe you didn't have that feeling, but, just kind of fast tracking that part of things. Like, was there anything that you did or like you said, it was the relationships or?
Yeah. I mean, for me, I didn't really have much of a choice. I didn't really have anything to fall back on. I decided I want to be a paramedic. I just spent years, or a firefighter. And, I just spent years going down that road. I don't have a degree. I didn't go to college because I was a dad pretty young. So I didn't do all that. And I didn't really I just knew, I don't know. It was weird. I can't describe it. And like I told you offline, that led to a complete reconstruction of my life. It would be the word I would use. But the decision to pursue this completely changed my life.
What gives me a great appreciation for what you do is I do it obviously at a lesser level, but I just know what goes into a weekend of all that footage, especially when you're dealing with multiple SD cards, multiple shooters, all that in order to progress a story through is crazy. I mean, some of the time, the fact that you have edits done after Wadapalooza weekend is insane to me.
Well, yeah, the person I've had the last few Wadapaloozas is Chase, and he's that guy's working. He is working to get those out. And it's really difficult to do that. Yeah, I love that guy. I just got off the phone with him, actually.
Fellow fighter as well.
Yeah.
I saw exactly. He finally got a full-time gig, I think, with them too.
Yeah. Man, can you imagine that guy showing up? I might start a fire just to get him to my house. My God.
He's going to clip that. He's going to clip that for himself, and he's going to replay that anytime he's feeling down. Yeah. Good. No, we had him on. We had him on, and he's same thing. He sung your praises too, with Wadapalooza. Oh. So, I mean, yeah, Wadapalooza is fun. This last one was weird because of the rain, but yeah, I never thought that I'd lead the Wadapalooza team. Yeah, how did that opportunity come about? I mentioned to you if it stayed in this podcast or not, but I kind of wrote off the space, and I posted something on Threads and was when Threads first started, and I was like, I'm not going to the CrossFit Games this year. I've been there every year for 4 years or something, and I'm not going. And hope you all have fun. That was it. And then Sasha, I volunteered at the first West Coast Classic. That was my first big event. I volunteered, and we got along really well, and I worked really hard, and she noticed that and appreciated that. And she was putting something together that I think that was a 23 games. It was the last one at Madison. She was 23. I think it's 23. And, yeah. And she was working, but Loud and Live was putting on an event for Tier, and they needed someone to run video. And I was like, sweet. So I'll be off site. I won't be there, but I'll be there. And so I did that. And then after that, she asked me if I wanted to lead the team. And I've always kind of been in management roles. I guess I feel like I'm pretty good at delegating and making sure that everyone feels happy and comfortable and has a good time. Cause that's the biggest part that for me is why I think in my way am successful at running teams at events like that, is because in my opinion, you're not going to get good content out of your teammates, because I don't think that I'm above anyone. I think that I'm just in charge of making sure the vibes are good. But you're not going to get good content out of your teammates if they're not having a good time, if they're unhappy, if they're feeling insecure, if they're feeling like you're disappointed in them, if they're not feeling valued, then you're not going to get the best out of them. And I've always said going into those events and, people coming in to volunteer, I say the same thing to them, but I do not care how good you are. I care that you are having a good time, you are feeling valued, and that you want to learn. Because if you want to learn, we're all here to teach each other. I don't know what I'm doing for the most part. I'm just winging it just like you are. I've just wung it for a little bit longer. And I don't know. I think that that's what Sasha saw in me, is that I am really good at keeping the camaraderie there for the most part. No one's perfect, but I definitely try to do that. How do you make then people feel appreciated on your team? Is there certain things that you do? Because I agree, that's a huge part of it, especially because the cool thing is we know what a whole weekend entails, and we've been in the shoes when we're not in leadership. So we kind of have an idea of how hard things are, how long things are, all of that kind of stuff. What do you do to like make people feel comfortable on your team?
I'm only speaking from the perspective of someone doing something. I don't know how it's received, so I can't speak on that. But what I consciously try to do is make people feel like equals, especially volunteers. I was a volunteer once, but been multiple times, and I know how difficult it is to go somewhere where you don't know anyone. And my first experience as a volunteer was not a good one. And I didn't want anyone else to have that experience. I don't want anyone to have an experience where they come and they feel like they didn't get something out of it. And so, but that goes for anyone. I mean, like when Stutters was on my team for the first time, I don't know what I did specifically with him, but I tried to make sure that he felt really welcomed and appreciated. And that also, he didn't feel undervalued or like he was less than because he was a volunteer. And that goes for anyone. And the way that I personally try to do that is I'm really good with vocalizing things, vocalizing appreciation. I try to vocalize when things are going well. And if things need to be worked on, it's never like you need to do this. It's more of like hey, let's like, it's a collaborative effort, because I truly, and I think that this is an important part, as I truly don't think that I am better than anyone. Truly. I do not think anyone comes onto my team, even if they've been shooting for a year, I do not think that I'm better than you, because I don't. I think that I'm good at what I do. But I think that if you think that you're better than everyone, then that's limiting you, and you're not going to get better, and you're not going to make people like you. So that's a big one for me is dude, you know how many times I've learned things from people who are brand new that I didn't even think about? But if I thought that, I'm your boss, I'm just going to, tell you what to do, I would have learned those things, and I would not have gained any value and gotten better at what I'm doing. And that's usually just the way that I try to do it. And it's not a conscious effort. I genuinely don't think that I'm better than anyone at all. I think that I can do things differently than other people. Sometimes I might know how to use After Effects more than you, but that's only because I bit off more than I could chew one time, and I just kind of had to figure it out. But I think that in my mind, I genuinely think that, JT, if you wanted to learn how to do an animation that I did, you could figure it out too. So I don't think that I'm smarter than you. I don't think I'm better than you. I think I just happened to do that one thing and learned that. And I think that's a big thing that I would hope that people get that feeling from me, is that they feel like they're on the same level as me. I'm just put in that role because I'm good at making a team feel like a team. I'm not there because I'm great at filming or editing or whatever I'm doing. I'm just there to make sure that the team is a team and everyone's happy. And that doesn't always happen, but I think that maybe my experience on an ambulance helps me in situations of high stress and things like that. So if tempers are, flaring, or if there's someone who's unhappy, I usually am pretty good at keeping my cool. When I was a paramedic, I was told that I was too calm, which is funny. So I don't know. I think that that's what I try to do. And I don't know how it's received. I'd love to hear that. I do get, when I talk to people after and make sure that they had a good experience. And if they didn't, why not? And what could we have done differently? And I remember after the first Wadapalooza SoCal Stutters, and Lewis had to leave before, and I was talking to another person on the team. We were having a side conversation because he was going through something personally and just needed someone to talk to. And so I was doing that, and they had to leave for the weekend, and they sent me a video, and I remember it made me tear up because they were just so nice, and they were said really kind things. And I was like, you guys are volunteers, but that doesn't mean that I'm any better than you or anything like that. They were so sweet, and I didn't feel like I deserved that. But yeah, I don't know. Can go on that for forever, but I just like to make people feel happy and welcome and inspired. I don't know how to do it. I'm just winging it.
Yeah. Well, I'd say if I would go down the learning the After Effects route, that said hair problem that I may have mentioned earlier, it would probably grow a slight bit, because I do have a tendency, whenever I'm editing or really into it, I just start doing this. So probably this whole situation would be less than it is. I feel like it's really interesting that you were told that you were too calm as a paramedic. Yeah. Where does that sense of calm come from?
I don't know, actually. That's a good question. On the ambulance, I have no idea. I've been like that since I was a kid. My stepmom told me when I was younger that she always encouraged me to do the medical route or the firefighter route, because one time my brother, when we were fairly young, I was probably like 10 maybe, fell and split his leg. Like, it was bad. And she was at our neighbor's house and I came running over and she's like, "I'll never forget. You were so calm." You're like, "Joey hurt himself." And she was like, "You did not paint the right picture for me." Because apparently I was very calm. I don't know where that comes from, but it does translate over well for situations like that. And I think that what I like to say a lot of the time, because I have been in a situation where we're saving lives, is that we are not saving lives. We're changing lives. We're not saving them. So it's okay. We don't need to be that critical of each other. We need to remember that we do this because we love it. We don't have to do this. We get to do this. So it's a lot easier to be calm in situations like we are put in the CrossFit media space or the fitness media space, because I've been in those situations where it's like, "Oh no, I've got a gun pointed at me while I'm doing CPR. This is not, that's tense. This is not." So, that'll change your perspective. I don't know where it came from before that though. I'm just really dialed when those situations happen. I'm able to focus quite a bit. And after the cancer thing, that stopped. And that was when I knew that I needed to change, because, those things combined, I was no longer that calm and collected. Things rattled me, which, that's why I had to change a little bit.
I feel like it's understandable. I mean, that's a huge life thing, right? Like, that would change anyone.
Yeah. But better for me, honestly. I look at it as a good thing. It sucked at the time. You don't want to hear that when you're 26, but look at where I'm at now. I'm happier than I've ever been. And that's after a lot of being not very happy, but it took a lot of committing to this. And like I said, I didn't really feel like I had any other choice. That was the part that was hard to relay to people. I'm sure you experienced this too, but it's really hard to get people to understand why you're doing something that they don't understand themselves. And at that time, there wasn't much money in doing this stuff unless you were very lucky. And I was very lucky, but I wasn't making a lot of money. Yeah, I got 2 kids. I was living in the Bay Area. I was not getting paid to do this very well at all until I got really lucky and met the right people. But it's something that I think we all go through. And I just speaking for myself, but from other people I've spoken to, you're met with a lot of questions and doubt. A lot of people don't realize that this can be a career. And I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah, I think that's been almost like a recent evolution, is the fact that people are fully into oh wait, as a camera operator, whether it's photographer, videographer, it doesn't really necessarily matter. You can create a career for yourself. Whereas, I don't know, 10 years ago when you first picked up a camera, or for me, I was making travel videos and vlogs,
sick.
had my real sick.
I've tried to do that. I can't do it. I'm too awkward on camera.
I wouldn't say I necessarily wasn't awkward on camera. Looking back, it seemed like I was very confident and comfortable with it, but
that's fantastic.
And those, whenever I was doing that and experimenting with the camera, learning on the camera, stuff like that, I would say there's a good majority of my friends that were super "Hey man, this is awesome. If you want to film me doing some fun stuff, you film me doing some fun stuff, all good." But then there's, there are some detractors being what's this guy doing? Why doesn't he just get a traditional sales job, or, get into marketing or something? Why is he trying to there's not that out there. And then all of a sudden, the world of social media explodes. How video is being looked at completely changes nowadays. I mean, Think about how many apps and things like that are all video focused now. And it's crazy how life kind of like, much to your point of like luck. Yeah, luck does play a large part of it, but you also put yourself in a lot of really good situations by working your face off and really, double downing and believing in yourself. And while you did have some of those detractors out there and people that were saying, oh, like, can't believe he's doing that, or, the stress and the pressure of providing for a family in the Bay Area while also, doing this. I get all of that, but like coming out on the other end, you're such a better person for it. And like,
oh yeah,
I feel like that helps your leadership style too, Yeah,
I like to think so. I hope, that's a good point. Never thought of it that way, but I agree. And I think that it's hard when like the closest people to you are those people who don't believe that what you're doing is the right decision. And for me, as a sensitive person, which a lot of us who are creators are emotional or sensitive, at least the ones that I've experienced, it's a difficult thing to have that constant like non-belief and constant questioning. Why don't you go get a real job? And what's funny is I remember one of the moments that for me was like a full circle moment where it felt like that I was doing the right thing finally, is I had just gone through a divorce. And I remember someone sent me the song and was like, don't take this personally. But it's a song called Get a Job. And it's just a really good song by this pop punk band called Games We Play. And the person who sent it to me was one of those people who was like, you should get a job. And that's what the song is about. I was like, you should get a job, but I'm not. And he's like singing that from the perspective of himself, but he's like, I'm not going to. I'm going to keep singing my songs. And it's a great song. You should listen to it. But ironically, it was just funny that I got that song. Like, don't take it personally, the words, I just think you'd really like the song. And I was like, that's hilarious that you sent that to me. Well, like maybe 3 weeks later, I pitched this idea to CrossFit and to Matt Bishel from CrossFit, who I love. He's the one who just called me and I had to ignore.
Oh, geez. No, I got in on his good graces with Eric.
Nice.
Eric Imam.
Yeah.
Everyone knows him as Imam, Eric. Because we gave him a little shout out because Eric told a story about him behind the scenes and how he got started with CrossFit. And Bishel was the one guy who kind of like made the whole Dave's, what's it called? Like the behind the scenes of Dave's journal, like from the CrossFit like weekend, like how there's a whole like story about that Bishel was involved in. And he told the story. So like we're on Bishel's good side. So
oh no, Bishel's my boss. So all of the current behind the scenes of the games testing is me and him. So we've been shooting the behind the scenes of the games and I'm editing all of that. It's been really fun. So, but that's why he's probably calling me. I'll call him later. It's fine. We talk like 5 times a day. Yeah. So where I was going with that, where was I going? Oh, the song. So ironically, about 3 weeks later, I'd pitched this idea to Matt where I happened to just like follow Zach from All Time Low because he did CrossFit. And at one point I worked with RPM and I was going to do something with him and get him some gear and go film him or something. And that never happened. But I was like, oh, it'd be cool to have him we were doing workout of the day demos at that point. And I was like, it'd be cool to have him do one. And I reached out to him and he was like, yeah, I'm down. And he and I hit it off immediately. He is one of my closest friends now. It's crazy. But I asked him at that point, would you like to do something? And he's like, yeah, call me. Which for me, I was like, oh my God, that's insane. And if he listens to this, he's going to hate that I say this, but they were like my favorite band growing up. And he knows that now. But at that point I was like, oh my God, that's so crazy. And he was like, yeah, you want to do Red Rocks? We're going to be at Red Rocks. I'm like, that's where I grew up. That's crazy. Yeah, I'd love to. And so flies me out to Red Rocks and CrossFit's paying me to go do a workout demo. We end up doing it at Red Rocks on the stage before their show. Mind you, we're in my town where I grew up. I've never been to a show there at Red Rocks. First of all, crazy that my first concert ever there was like with All Time Low, one of my favorite bands ever. And I'm in the green room with them and they're all so kind to me. And it was like this crazy experience. And then, I go out on stage with them and there's thousands of people, just a sea of people. And I was like, this is insane. But the funny part about that show is that Who opened for that band? Who opened for them? Games We Play. And guess what they played? They played that Get a Job song, and they're a small band at that time. And guess what? Their singer used to do CrossFit at Peak 360. And so we got to chat about that. It was just a full circle moment. This is weeks after I just heard about his band, and I hear them warming up. And I'm like, no way that band is playing. It was insane. Like chills still to this day. And then later that evening, one of those people, when I first started like with local bands in Colorado, filming and stuff, someone who kind of, I would say, made fun of me in a friendly way, but like he didn't like me, and he was like talking crap about what I was doing and made fun of me for going around with bands and doing this stuff and essentially calling me a groupie. Well, he saw me on stage, and here he is sending me messages on Instagram. Can you get me backstage? And I'm like, oh, look at that. Look at that. Now you want to be my friend. So anyways, that was a really fun full circle moment. And that was, after my divorce and lost my job at RPM. And yeah, things were downhill for a while. A single dad living in a really tiny apartment, just trying to get by, and then was able to do that. And then now, yeah, things are completely different, but that was a crazy moment. And now, I have a matching tattoo with my favorite band. That's crazy. And I have like a permanent, laminate if I ever want to go and hang out and shoot with them. And it's just crazy. That's wild to me. So that's one of those moments where I just got lucky that someone said yes to something and it worked out great. And now he's one of my closest friends, which is cool.
No, that's super cool. I bet it felt really good too, being on stage and like looking down and like seeing him there and being like, yeah, so, like,
oh, it was great. It was so funny. Now, of course I was nice, and, I never wasn't rude about it. It's just a nice moment where I was like, I was right. Yeah. And people are starting to notice, and people are starting to like run it back a little bit and, be nice to me now that I'm doing cool things. And it's just a theme that's happened several times. It still continues to happen all the time. And it's just very rewarding because, not a lot of people get to do what we do, and not a lot of people are successful doing it. And I've been pretty lucky, I would say. I know you say I've worked hard for sure, but I've also just been very lucky. I mean, like I just happened to like hang out with Teddy Swims, and now he follows me on Instagram because we hung out, and we have a mutual friend, one of my best friend who passed away 6 years ago. He was also friends with Teddy Swims, and now Teddy Swims blew up and stuff like that. Like that's luck. That is luck to just happen to be in that place.
I'm gonna keep disagreeing with the luck factor. I know I have to, but
that's all right. Yeah, I'll take that.
It's being a good person, and it's also, I feel like a lot of people are finding this now, where it's like, whenever you're working directly with athletes, it's like you're also betting on the athlete a little bit too, from like a media standpoint, right? Like, I want to work with athletes that are like incredible human beings, like really cool to be around. And they probably want to be around media people that have the same values and also are cool to hang out with. So it's like, it goes back to that theme that like, I feel like everyone that, has been in a similar position to yourself, where they're running a media competition, whatever it is, like, they're always like, when I look at my team, like, I just want to be around good people. Like, just be a good person. Like, I can help you out with like the camera specs and like this, that, and the other, and how to shoot this and how to shoot that. But if you don't have like a good attitude, if you're not like a good person, then like, I don't want to be around you type of scenario. Like, that's how you don't get lucky. Right. And you kind of like fade off a little bit.
That's a good point. I think that being a nice, kind, good hang, actually, that's a good way I put it. Just be a good hang, because people won't want to be around you if you're a good hang. And, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the athlete that first gave me a chance to work with them was at Diablo, Alessandra Picelli. Just let me follow her with the camera. Let me go to Granite Games with her. And just like,
I saw on the
was
YouTube
super
channel.
Kind.
That's still out there, by the way, the YouTube channel from like 7 years ago. There's a video of that.
Oh yeah. And then like Noah Olson and Chandler Smith and Travis Mayer, like very kind people, but you just got to be a good hang. I think that I think that that's a big part of it. And when you're nice to people are much more likely to help you out. And I've I've been fortunate where a lot of people, there's always one person that's all it takes, one person to like give you an opportunity. Well, I've been fortunate where I've had several people give me those opportunities just because I am a nice person and I try to be kind. And I think that's probably why I get lucky, is because I'm not out here saying that I'm the best. I'm at what I do. I'm just want to be nice and meet cool people. And my biggest advice for someone getting into this is just do that. Just be nice. I've now at this point, it's going outside of CrossFit, worked with actual famous people. It's crazy. And they don't want to hang out with people who either think they're really, really cool or treat them like they're not human. Just go with these athletes. These are world-class athletes, but they're also just people, and you can just have a conversation with them, and they'll probably respond to that better than anything. So just be nice, be cool, be a good hang.
I mean, they have the same issues that we deal with every day. They run out of gas and have to go to the gas station. Not necessarily everyone, because I know there's probably some electric car people. Shout out to you guys.
Or people who plan ahead.
Yeah, people that plan ahead. Yes. Listen, I am really bad at that for whatever reason. I just I wait until it's like we're on E, lights on. Thank God, I drive a Honda Civic, and it has
nice.
the mileage till
Oh man, I don't even have that. I live life on the edge, my guy. Really? Oh yeah. I'm I don't even have that feature in my car. And I'm just I have no idea if this thing is going to make it home or not. We're going to figure it out. And I live far from a gas station, so
that's
risky
tough.
move. I've got a gas can right there.
Do you carry a gas can? Okay, you do. Yeah, that's going to be my next thing.
Yeah, 2 of them. I've had to use those several times. Which
you think
things in twos.
You have 2 guitars, 2 gas cans. Do you have 2 cameras?
I've got 8 guitars. I have 2. I have 2 kids.
2 kids, yes.
I have 2 kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
2 animals. 2 eyes.
Dogs?
I have 1 dog, 1 cat.
1 dog, 1 cat. They get along.
I also have a chameleon.
That's a fun fact. Does the chameleon identify as a dog or a cat, considering it can blend into things? That was a really bad dad joke.
That's a great dad joke.
Me and you probably thought that was somewhat humorous. People listening are like, why did you just say that? Yeah.
Oh man, the dad jokes. You have no idea. I haven't been able to I don't really show people my humorous side very often, but my goodness.
Listen, now you have my cell phone number. I expect at least once a week, just 1 a week. I'm not asking for a lot. And it can just come to you, right?
Yeah. Well, that's how dad jokes are. Here's the thing. I think the true dad jokes are the in the moment comments that you make based on what's happening. That's where those dad jokes really come in. There's some good ones that are just the classic type of dad jokes, but the ones that really get people are the ones where it's in the moment where they're only a dad could have thought of that. That's a dad joke.
Yeah.
There you go.
I like to think that I actually do. Yeah, well, I feel like I do better feeding off of other people's energy and what they say and making that into something, as opposed to I'm not going to be a stand-up comic. I'm not going to just tell you a story kind of thing. I have to kind of feed off of whatever you're giving me.
That's Matt Rife. Matt Rife has made a career out of just being a riffer. He tried to do a regular stand-up and people didn't like it.
That guy is quick.
I mean, it's a muscle. I think he'd be able to do it. I want to do stand-up one day. But having young children limits your ability to go try stand up every night. So, yeah.
Understandable. Those are late hours typically that stand up are happening too. So that would be a sitter situation. And then you got to go through that whole vetting process. And then you're still going to be somewhat at home, and you're going to pull up the baby monitor, even though you don't have to. And listen.
Yeah. Well, mine aren't babies anymore. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not even there. I shouldn't I'm not even there yet, but I'm just, I assume this is how it's done. I know,
yeah,
we're still.
Nah, it's awesome. Yeah. You're just getting into it. Man, I miss that. My daughter's already 10 and she genuinely thinks that I'm the worst. She loves me obviously, but she's just embarrassed by her dad now, which is crazy because I'm 34. I didn't expect my 10-year-old to be a teenager already. That's fun.
Yeah. Hopefully getting it out of her system early, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. Nah, she loves me. We're super close. She's just way too similar to me.
She's not going to listen to this. It's fine. You can be honest with us. We can just totally rip on your for
No, I'll show her. She thinks she sometimes thinks I'm cool, just not around her friends.
fair enough. Yeah, she has like, she'll like pull you aside and like, hey, dad, that was really cool. But like, if her friends are around, it's like, can you believe what my dad just did? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I get that.
Which is so fun. That's earned.
Yeah.
It's such a fun rite of passage. I love it. It's a little sad because I remember when she thought I was awesome. She still does.
Yeah.
I tell you what, it is a flex that her favorite band is All Time Low, and she gets to go hang out with them. That is very helpful in the cool dad category.
That is a cool dad category. That is a big one. That's a big check for you. It's important.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we got off the rails there for a sec. What else you want me to talk about?
Oh, listen. No. We're on the rails. So like, I know that like typically, you know, on a podcast, we have to be all structured and like we have to, you know, and we had a good conversation, like texting back and forth, like here's some things to bring up. But like, I kind of like to just kind of riff and let it flow.
Love it.
Hopefully it's entertaining to people. If people don't like it, like, man,
just put it on double speed.
Yeah. Put it on double. Yeah.
That's
and then, you
do.
know, like, that's exactly right. You know, I tend to think that we don't typically, me and you don't really pause. We kind of just like walk through our words.
Yeah, just keep talking. Just keep chatting. I mean, I could do that. I could talk to a brick wall. It's crazy. Working at retail did that for me.
Yeah.
Man,
how long did you work
taught
retail?
me how to have a conversation a long time. Well, not a long time, I guess. From when I was like 20 to probably 25. So some amount of time. I worked at Vans first and then Tilly's, and then I managed Zoomies. I was his youngest. No, that was at a different place. I was a store manager though, and I was up for store manager of the year at one point, which was cool. Hey. And then, so again, in management, but then my favorite one was I worked for Nixon watches. That was my claim to fame. I loved them. They had one store in the US and I managed it, and that was cool. Yeah.
I've often heard that if you work in said clothing store, you almost like don't own anything of that clothes, like those clothes. Like, do you still own Vans, or are you like so sick of Vans because you were in Vans for so long?
I love it. I wasn't in Vans for too long, but no, I'm one of those people my style has not changed at all. Really. I have this weird, like hybrid emo skater fitness vibe. So like, I don't know, like Gym Reapers came out and I was like, hey, I like that. That's kind of my similar vibe. And so I appreciate that. But no, I still wear Vans. I also wear Rads and Tears and stuff. I have so many shoes. It's disgusting. I just am not a get rid of her. Working events this long, you get so many free shoes. And then on top of that, I was already a shoe guy before then, but they're not like cool. I'm not like what are the cool shoes nowadays?
I believe.
I'm not a sneakerhead. I mean, I've got a bunch of Vans and I use some Nobles and things like that. I've got some nice shoes. I got some nice boots, but for the most part, I'm just wearing the same shoes every day. So I just have them. They're just in a room and I don't even wear them. But
I do part 2, we could do a whole like MTV Cribs and you can show us your shoe closet.
I'm looking at them right there. There's a heck of a lot of shoes. Yeah. And I don't wear them super often, but a lot of skate shoes. For somebody who's really bad at skateboarding, I've got a lot of skate shoes.
So like you have all these things that you self-proclaim are bad at, but you surround yourself with.
I would say, here's the thing. And this goes for the same for camera stuff. So I'm not terrible. I'm not great at anything, but I'm not terrible at it either. I'm pretty good at pretty much everything, which makes me very well-rounded, but not an expert in anything. I'd say the only thing I would consider myself good at is video editing. That's it. And
how do you continue to challenge yourself to get better? Like what motivates you to get better?
I just have it. I don't. It's hard for me to pinpoint what motivates me other than just enjoying it. And sometimes it is difficult to push yourself. I'll be honest. Like there's sometimes where I'm just like, this is really boring. I don't want to be doing this. But remembering, for me personally, just remembering how awesome is it that I get to work at my house with my kids and edit videos. This is literally what I love doing. And the thing that I do that challenges me, that really interests me, is like at this point, After Effects, animation, things like that. I really enjoy that. And I will tell you, anyone who's getting into video editing, that is a very intimidating thing. And shout out Michael Dalton for telling me one day, I asked him how he got good at it. He's like, just find a template and just figure it out. And I've been doing that for years now, and I would consider myself pretty good at it. And man, does that make you more money. So I would say the same thing for photographers too, because I feel like the thing that I run into a lot is you meet someone at an event and they're a photographer, and I'm like, oh, do you do video too? No, I'm scared to do that. Or like, it's really hard. I haven't like gotten into that yet. And then they say that for 3 years consecutively. I'm like, why? Just try it. You're going to suck. Just embrace sucking. Do a lot of free work, and you're going to suck less every time, and you'll just eventually be pretty good at it. And maybe one day you'll be great at it. Cause that's how I was, dude. The first thing I did was a music video for a local band in Colorado. Some of my closest friends growing up, and I had no idea what I was doing. Looking back on it, pretty bad. It's not terrible. I still was like, okay, for someone who didn't know what they were doing, this isn't terrible. And then here we are. Now I get to work for CrossFit and do, like I'm going to be the editor at the games again this year, which is insane. Like why, I don't know, but I'm just going to wing it. But people who are afraid to try, like just do it. Who cares? Who cares what people think? Who cares if it's hard?
I literally couldn't agree with you more. Like I've had a few friends in the media space like come up and be like, and they're photographers, and they're like, oh, I want to try video, and like I want to get into it. I'm like, then just do it. And the same exact things that you were echoing, like go to a local affiliate, work for free, try stuff out, film your friends. I mean, the amount of times that I have like footage of my dog in my backyard, just trying stuff out. Like
that's how you do it.
I have like a goal of this. You can't really see it. I have an FX6, humble brag, I know.
Dang,
like I've never,
dude, I don't have that.
I haven't used it to its fullest capacity yet. And that's one of my biggest goals this year is to, as a way to challenge myself, was to let's learn it. So like I've been diving in every single week and like learning a little bit more. But like how I get better with that is I go in the backyard, and like I consider myself, decent at video and filming and stuff. I still shoot stuff with my dog. I mean, I got a perfect test subject that doesn't ever fight back with, my kid, Jax. So like, the only way that you're going to get better is by doing it. Straight up.
I think I can't believe I'm going to say this on a podcast, but what I always tell people is I am a good editor because I'm a terrible shooter. And I've had to learn how to make my terrible footage look good. Kind of, it'll make you better. Even if you're bad at it, you'll still get better. And now I'd say I'm decent at shooting, but like that taught me how to be a good editor, truly. And just practicing. I just do stuff at home. I do that's the thing with music and CrossFit and stuff like that. Like just people will let you do it if you want to practice. Don't be weird about it. But people let you do it, and that's how you're going to get better. And I remember a few years ago chatting on some podcasts, and people were arguing about people doing work for free, and how it takes away from people who want to get paid. I don't know if that's the case or not, but I truly stand by people doing work for free. I think that if you're new and you refuse to do work for free, like again, not wanting to because you want to get paid, you want to get be valued. I totally get that. But there's nothing wrong with also just being like, yeah, I'll do it. I want to get better. That has opened more doors for me than anything else. Me doing work for free has opened way more doors for me. I went to go do something for free just for fun last year. Like I whatever. Ended up meeting another one of my favorite bands in the process, got to shoot them. Then they offered me to go to a huge festival with them. And I had to say no because I was at Wadapalooza. But I was like, how cool that they want to pay me to go to this crazy festival and stuff like that. So because I was just going to go do something for free. That's it. So it's okay to do this because you love it. And usually things come out of that will benefit you from my experience.
Yeah. Yeah. And, people that are, I would say this, like people that are angry about other people doing stuff for free. It's like, if you're that person that is going that route, you have to realize that there's so many opportunities out there. Like, I don't know if an athlete's like, oh, I want to have somebody for free. Okay. Maybe go for a brand, maybe try something else. Like show your work.
Yeah. I get that it's frustrating. I've been there, but also if someone if someone doesn't want to pay you because they want to get something for free, they're going to get what they paid for with free stuff, free work, you know?
Yeah.
Usually if you're doing something for free, you're pretty new to it or something along those lines, or you're not doing it as much
or
for
you've never
them.
done it,
But-
new
but
industry,
also-
new vertical. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But if you work your butt off and you get pretty good at what you do, then people want to pay you. If someone is valuing someone, if someone's going to not pay someone over paying me and they're getting something similar out of it, yes, that person should be charging, or I should be much better. Which way do you want to look at it? I don't know, but it's a tough game we play. It's difficult to get paid at times, and that's one of the fun parts. But I think that there's plenty of opportunity for all of us out there. It's been proven in the last few years. There's stuff popping up all the time, and people willing to help you out and learn. And another thing that people should do is just ask questions. For the most part, we're all very, very kind and very nice. I have met very few individuals in this CrossFit media space, which I will never name them, but like I've met very few who are not
Stutters.
kind
I'm just
and not willing to. Yeah, that guy, just
Chase.
so mean.
Who else can?
Stutters really likes to repeat himself. Sorry, that was a mean joke.
He would probably laugh at that. That's kind of the stuff that
He would.
we were saying.
I love that about him.
Well, on the podcast, we were talking about how we always like, if you know someone really well, like there's a lot of like just banter back and forth and like, little shit talking here, there, and the other. Like me and him go back and forth with each other, with that kind of stuff. And like, it keeps you fresh. Like it keeps you, it's like
It's so
funny.
fun.
It's,
But, hey, as long as you know where there's a line and
and don't do it to certain people.
Much.
Like do it to people that are going to dish it back and like don't make people feel uncomfortable and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for the most part, everyone's pretty cool though, and I always try to. I don't know if someone's listening to this and I haven't responded to you on Instagram, I'm so sorry because I am so bad at Instagram lately. But usually I try to get back to people if they ask questions and stuff because I was that person once, and there's the people who responded to me changed my life. Truly, like it just takes one person say the right thing or help you out or say yes to something, and I remember like there's people who reach out to me about volunteering and stuff at Wadapalooza, and if I can help you out, then absolutely, I try to, and it's led to then meeting people who are now on my paid team, things like that. So you never know. If someone doesn't respond, like worst case scenario, someone just doesn't respond to you and you're in the same exact position you're in now.
Exactly right.
Best case scenario, the door opens for you and you take it. There you go. So I think that's one of those things that I did when I first started. I feel like I felt like at the time I was annoying people, but if I was, whatever, then
I wouldn't say I blow up people's DMs, but like I've DM'd athletes just like casually, and not all of them get back to you. And it's nothing against who you are as a person, what you said or anything like that. It's like to realize people are just busy, or like people have stuff going on, or maybe they got the notification, they clicked on it real fast, and all of a sudden like they realized that they were short on gas. Bring it back, callback joke. And they had to stop at a gas station and immediately had to pump gas. So they could have just closed the app, and then all of a sudden they didn't come back to it. And it's like this whole thing. So
that's me every day because I read it like in passing, or like I'll read it, then I'll have to do something with my kids, and then I'm like, I'll respond to it before I go to bed, and then I'm too tired, and then I don't look at my phone before I go to bed.
There's so many times where I'll open them. I think I might have even done this to you, and I apologize, but like I'll open a message. What I do, and this has been like a recent trend, is I will then hold down, the message or whatever to make it unread. So then I come back and it's like a new message again. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I got to respond to that.
But then you do the toxic thing where you like I do, and then you have like 10 unread messages for like 2 weeks. And then you're like, oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah. I've been overwhelmed lately. So that's usually how I am. I think I have like 10 unread messages.
Which doesn't help things.
That's a bold move. That's a bold move.
Yeah. I might want to change that.
Dang.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that you heart messages and you don't do a thumbs up, because the thumbs up is genuinely offensive. Man.
I got you. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Like
if you do a thumbs up to me, I'm like, okay, cool. Why do you hate me? What did I do to you? If you've ever thumbs up something in a non-professional setting, I'm probably mad at you.
Yeah. I think that actually is like a real thing. Cause I remember I think
it's a millennial thing.
Yeah. Cause we had some volunteers on the Desert City Classic media team, and I don't know why I said the full name. I was like, plug.
That's cool. Good name.
Thank you. I didn't come up with it. They would come over and they, I think I did like thumb up one of the messages, like whenever we were like in the off season and like planning things out. And like, they brought that up to me. It's like, why didn't you heart that? Like, is everything okay? Like, are you like,
why are you so offended?
I totally had no idea what I was saying. Yeah.
Really?
So like now I'm like consciously always hearting things. So there you go.
Yeah. I appreciate that because there's one person who I don't take offense to anymore, and that's my ex-wife, because we're really good friends, by the way, which is awesome. It's a rare thing, but she'll thumbs up things or send me a thumbs up. And for a long time, I was like, why do you hate me? What did you? And she's like, at some point, I was just like, that's not, she's fine. But anyone else, I'm going to assume you hate me. Just kidding.
As you should.
I was talking with Chase earlier, and he was like, oh, I was at this event in Colorado Springs. I should have called you. And I was like, yeah, no one ever invites me to like these smaller events. And I don't know why. And he's like, it's probably above your price range. I'm like, I don't care about that. I'm just trying to have a good time. As long as I'm not, if you're paying me very little and you're expecting me to stay up until 1 a.m, maybe I won't do that because I'm a tired dad. But for the most part, I'm just down to go hang. But yeah,
I think that is an interesting point. Because like, obviously in Arizona, we have a lot of talented people that, you have
Rick
a couple
Evans.
guys at Wadapalooza.
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah. And it's like,
should probably call him one of those, by the way, call back. I haven't responded to him. Whoops. I need to call him. I'm going to FaceTime him after this. He's not going to answer.
Yeah. You tell myself.
Well, at least he'll see this. Hopefully he'll see this and he'll know that I felt bad about it for a week.
Veteran, great guy. But, like, I guess it is kind of like an interesting thing. Cause like, I mean, I'm in charge of like a local AZ comp, and like, I don't hit up Rick and I don't hit up Eric, but like, why don't I? Maybe they just want to come hang out.
I think that from what I assume, and also like people have told me, like Chase, I do Wadapalooza in the CrossFit Games. So therefore, maybe they don't think that I would say yes, or maybe they think that I am too good. I'm not good. I'm okay. I'm pretty good, but that doesn't mean I'm too good for anything. I like doing things. I like getting better at things. Like same with WFP. That was a last minute, like they needed someone and they called me in. I was like, yeah, heck yeah, sure. I don't care. Yeah, I'm fine with it. And like, I learned a lot and it was fun. And then, that just makes you better. So, but I think that that's one of those things, like maybe people assume I don't want to because I do Wadapalooza. Like Wadapalooza is 1 weekend of the year, and the CrossFit Games is 1 weekend of the year. I got a whole lot of weekends, got 50 others. So
it's a very intense weekend. And it feels like, it's like that class. I don't know if you ever have done like weddings, but like, it feels like weddings, you have this weird thing of like, whenever I used to film weddings, like back in the day, like when I first started, and you would literally be the most jam-packed day. So like you wouldn't drink at all or anything like that, right? You'd be fine, but you'd be working all day. And the next day you had this like hungover, like you did just drink all night feeling. And
dude,
it's
that's
like
every day.
Yeah.
At a comp where you're day. Like, it's a brutal, like, dude, the CrossFit Games last year was like that. I was the last person there every night and one of the first ones there every day. And I was there until like 1 a.m. doing the recap for the next day and stuff. And they were sick, but like I was tired. And by the end of that, it takes like a good week to recover from that. I feel like we're like fully, and then I go home and immediately get my kids, and then I'm not sleeping because of them. So it's, it's fun. It's better now. They sleep a little bit more, but yeah. So I'm hoping we'll see. Maybe this year at the CrossFit Games, I won't be up until 1 a.m. But if that's the case, then it's fine. At least I'm in my, like, I can drive home to my own house. I want to, which is sick. That's so crazy. The CrossFit Games are right here.
That's nice. I'll be there.
You're going to be there, right? Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
you are. What are you going to do? What you doing?
Me, Lauren Khalil, and Chris Knoll are like doing a nice little like us three collab thing. So Lauren's going to do her normal, like, sideline reporting, get some interviews. And then I'm just going to be running highlights all day. And then Chris is going to be grabbing photos all day. So
nice.
That's fun. Yeah. Like a nice little, like all three of us getting together. Cause we like same type of deal. Like how it is. Like you just run in the same social groups and like work at different competitions. And then you kind of like interweave and all that kind of stuff. So like, yeah, it's like the first it's the second opportunity that we've worked together. Like we did Desert City last year together. So
I saw you do it with Lauren. Was it at Wadapalooza? I think it was.
Yeah. So like
it was
this past
WFP.
Wadapalooza. Yeah. And WFP was just me. And then because there was a couple things that I was working towards, but they kind of fell off last minute. So I kind of got the pass because those things fell off last minute. So I mean, they were, WFP people were super nice to me about that. It was super cool.
That's awesome.
So that, and then just developing relationships with other media people and being able to, while we don't work obviously in like the same discipline, being able to help each other out. So I can provide video footage to Lauren. Lauren can provide interview footage to me. I can make something happen out of that. Chris can provide the photos for the thumbnail of said, whatever the deliverable is. Like, it's just super cool that way. And I like working.
I liked what you did at Wadapalooza.
Yeah. It was cool. It was fun. Right.
Yeah. That's the best thing when it's fun. That's the best. Keeps you motivated.
For sure.
So callback. That's why I like people on my team to have fun.
That's it.
Can't have too much fun.
Last question for you.
Just kidding. There's no such thing. Okay.
Before I let you go and get back. No, I'm curious, because you mentioned how opportunities have come your way. And I'm curious as to what makes a good opportunity for you, or how do you evaluate an opportunity, and perhaps put it in a perspective for maybe, a videographer, photographer that's coming up that may not know how to evaluate opportunities. Is there certain things that you look for, in that instance?
It depends. I this is a cop-out answer, but most of the time I just go with my gut. I have learned throughout the last 7 years of doing this, quitting my career, getting divorced, all these things, and still sticking with what I truly feel drawn to, that it has always paid off in the end. It has been a struggle at times, but I just go with my gut. So unwavering belief in what your instinct is telling you, or your intuition, I think that's usually what's going to benefit you. Is your initial gut feeling is probably the right one. And for instance, volunteering at the West Coast Classic, I was like, sure. Yeah. I'll be honest with you. The people closest to me told me I shouldn't do it because it's no money and I'd be losing money. And I was like, well, I think I want to do it. I think that I should, and I think it'd benefit me. Well, from there, I met Morning Chalk Up. Morning Chalk Up invited me to the CrossFit Games. From there, I met RPM. They hired me full time. Opportunity for me to work the broadcast team as a runner. This is a fun one. This is a good example. 2020 CrossFit Games come around. There's a guy who I know, shout out Aaron Kelly, he's a CrossFit broadcast cameraman. He was like, we need a runner. Do you want to do that? I was like, what's that? You'll just be going to get coffee and stuff like that. I was like, heck yeah, bud, I'll do that. Well, guess what? I brought my little camera with me, and then I met Matt Bishel, and now we're CrossFit because of it. I had, people would say no to that all the time because I'm too good to be a runner. What? No, you're not. Why? I mean, the things like that. So I think that going with your gut and not thinking that you're too cool is great. And I don't know if I've lost the plot to this question, but yeah, I think that that's the best that I can do is just listen to your gut. And if you can think of a possible scenario where this would benefit you, it probably will. And it might not always, but most of the time it will. Because every time that I've taken a risk, and even if people have told me I shouldn't, it's usually paid off for me. So that's my best advice. I'm not special. I think it could be like that for everyone, and I'm sure you can agree with me. Just saying yes to stuff usually helps.
I think that was a mic drop moment, if you will.
I hope so. Did you get your clip?
I think so. I have to remember. Okay, where's it? Well, this is the
third one.
Yeah, it's this is the third video clip because my cam link sucks. Take 3. So yeah, timestamp 51:08. Yeah, Steven.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about, man.
It was great to have an extended conversation with you.
Same.
Hang out.
What's funny is I'm going to keep you on here. I'm not going to let you go.
Go ahead. It's fine.
We're going to keep chatting. what's funny is we've never really had much of a conversation other than like the 2 seconds between a heat, because we only see each other at events, and the events that we're at, I'm always like putting out fires, not saving lives, but you know, I've got a million things to do. So I'm like, I've got 10 seconds to chit chat with my boy. And so that's as long as we've been able to talk, which has been awesome. Doesn't help that I don't text very well, but
no, it's all good. It's a simple, like, hey, what's up? Like, I know you're busy kind of thing. It's like a little head nod. It's a little this, a little that. But that is funny because like I fully understand that too. And like whenever you were describing like how you kind of like you have that like look on your face, I'm like, okay, he's thinking. So like I'm like back and I'm like waiting for him. Like, is he good? Okay, is he good?
You know, it's funny.
It's like in between heats, I don't have anything to do, but you got like a bunch of things you got to do. I'm just like chilling. So
I'm thinking about, oh man, I've got 10 people shooting this. I'm gonna have to go through all their footage. That's gonna take me forever. Dude.
Please don't.
Also, you know what I realize now? It might be the fact that I needed glasses. Genuinely. I have glasses now. And guess what? Don't get many headaches anymore. So I think maybe we'll see. This will be a good test at the games and at SoCal. If I look nicer. Actually, the games, I don't think anyone's going to see me. That's how it was last year. I was stuck in a room and
I didn't know you were there.
I went out two times. The one time during the weekend that I went out before the final event is I just happened to walk out, see Colton Mertens hit his crazy back squat. And I was like, sweet. That was great. See you guys. I'm going to go back to my computer now.
That was the hardest time. That was the hardest thing to film because everyone wanted
in a way
that shot. So like the broadcast team did a great job. Like they moved to the side and everything like that. It was simply because he was like on the back right-hand corner. You know how the media pit is. Everyone's in that small area. And like everyone's kind of shooting that way, right? So it was
it's brutal.
It was epic. Yeah.
Yeah, but like that, dude, I get so lucky sometimes now where I don't have to deal with that. But anyone on the sidelines, if I'm ever in your way at Wadapalooza, just know that I don't mean to be, and I try really hard. If you watch me, I try really hard to not be in the way of people. And I look around and I squat, and I don't even shoot as much as, you know, I try not to shoot a ton until the moments matter, but the games was tough on that one because there was the two rows of platforms. And and everyone was, I remember seeing that. I was like, everyone's in that one little spot. That is brutal.
I mean, look, those moments force creativity, right? So it's like, how can I get a creative shot when I don't, I can't move left or right? It's like, how do I, maybe get through something or maybe, on your end, like create a creative edit from that. Like, everyone's just problem solving.
Everyone's going for the same shot. It's okay to get something a little different because maybe yours will stand out. And when I was editing that one event, it was so hard because even with all the shooters for CrossFit for the doc, we had like 6 cameras or something on that, and it was like only one of them got it. And it was the guy on the floor because there's so much stuff in the way, and they were far away, and it's tough. So. Yeah, going through all that footage is fun, by the way. My goodness.
Yeah.
It took so long.
Imagine, like...
Same day, too. Whew.
I mean, do you kind of like when you have that many shooters, like, do you kind of know, all right, this person's camera, so like, if it's this person's more of like the narrative guy, the more of the guy's going to give me really good audio, or he specializes in this, she specializes in that. Is it kind of like...
Yeah. For the CrossFit games specifically... I guess it goes for Wadapalooza too, but I'm just thinking about the games right now. There's a guy on the floor, Mike. Shout out Mike, always gets the shot. So if I really need something, for the most part, unless it's like a field of 20 people and some crazy thing happened over there and he happened to be over here, you can't really plan for that, but someone usually gets it. But yeah, and then the other stuff, the other shooters are more for like, okay, this is going to be for the doc because that's just too much to go through on the spot. The cameras we're using too, the files are massive and it's got 6 giant folders or giant files to go through. And sometimes it started to flow a little bit more through the weekend because we were all pretty new to that team. That was my first time on that team. And we got in a good flow where if someone knew they got something good worth using, they'd come and tell me. Shout out Lily. She's the best. She would just at some point she would just come and start ripping them herself because she knew like I've got it was much quicker if she just started ripping stuff herself too and then give me it. And that was very helpful. So she's on the Wadapalooza team this year. It's gonna be cool. And the CrossFit Games team. We're gonna work together a lot. Oh yeah, she's awesome. So
I think I tried to get. I'm pretty sure I tried to get her on the podcast, and she left me on red. So I have to follow up with her and be like, "Hey, Lily,
hey Lily,
she's super nice. She's
awesome. Yeah,
my voice
just cracked. That was super cute. Yeah,
yeah. She was like super approachable to me. Like she came up to me. Like I think I was like pretty early on, and she was always super nice to me. Yeah,
she's so kind. Yeah.
She always like checks in on me
what's funny
too.
Is we work together, like do the same thing. Oh yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. What were you saying?
She just kind of like checks in on me from time to time. Like she'll see me at local comps or whatever, or, at like NorCal, who you shooting for? Like that kind of stuff. So it's cool.
Yeah. She's good people. But what I was saying is like, we do essentially the same job every day. We're like, we're both editors for CrossFit and now we're doing Wadapalooza together too. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're just made to be best friends. Lily, be on the podcast,
kind of have to be,
please.
right? It's kind of like forced friends in a sense.
If we're not, it's not going to be very fun. So yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
I'll stop letting you or keeping you here.
It's all good, man. Like I'm just, you'll have to put in a good word for me with her because I'm going to get her on. I feel like she's a wealth of knowledge too. And she's like,
she's behind the scenes too. She doesn't really like,
that's what I was saying. Like I get like the idea that she likes to be behind it, and maybe that's why she doesn't want to, come on here and stuff like that. Like I super respect that. We actually had a few people not be able to because of like, this is really sad. Like the whole like immigration Trump stuff, like people are afraid to come on because then they're on a work visa. Yeah. So like,
bummer. That's such a bummer.
Yeah. My biggest thing is too, like, I don't want this to be like, only the US based people. Like there's so much, I don't know if you've seen, there's so much talent in Latin America right now.
I was going to say the LATAM team at Wadapalooza was like so good that it was like, can you guys like try be a little less good? Cause you're making me look real bad here.
Yeah.
Just kidding there.
And what's great is like,
well, actually speaking of that, we need to get Isa. If we can put this in here, sorry, I'll let you finish that in a second. Sorry, Taylor, I'm gonna let you finish. But Isa, my good friend Isa Mir, who's worked on the Latin America team at Wadapalooza, also on my team personally, she is the best, incredibly talented, but she had all of her gear stolen, including her computer, all of that. Posted about it on social media, I think 2 days ago, and I just happened to see it today. But if anyone wants to donate to a great person needing some help, her Instagram is Mir Visions, MIR Visions. And we gotta look out for each other. And that one, she's the best and she's so incredibly talented. And I think that if you're going to support anyone in this right now, she probably could help or she could benefit from it. That wasn't super clean, but
that's okay. They're Latin American Masters games. The content on there that was created, I have never seen a Masters game have that type of coverage ever. Any Masters competition ever. Like they treated it as though it was, Wadapalooza. It was the games. Like it was pretty badass. And like every single one of the
LATAM Masters for CrossFit?
Yeah. So I think it was like CrossFit Shankston event. I'm pretty sure.
I think that was Isa. It was Isa. That's her.
It was her. It was a couple. Like I'm terrible with names, unfortunately, but like
same.
So many. Like Danny, Alex, Yamil, super talented people.
Gabo is amazing. I don't know if he was there for that. He's at Wadapalooza.
But yeah, it's just like those type of people. Like I have so much respect for them because, we say, oh, we'll do stuff for free. Like they're probably doing stuff for pennies in a lot of cases, because it's not like there's a ton of money.
They're traveling a long distance to get to events like that here.
Yeah.
And the events don't usually pay great anyways. And so, yeah, getting a flight from, anywhere outside of the US is probably, I can imagine, is very expensive. And then lodging for a week. Yeah. But very talented.
For sure.
Well, that's a wrap on this episode. Thanks for tuning in to the Capture the Reps podcast. If you're a fitness creative and you found this episode helpful, please share this with a fellow creative and keep creating, keep learning, and keep capturing those reps. We'll see you next time.